Hey guys, Wolvie here with a special presentation for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia Global for the 20th of March 2020. This will be my predictions related to the Spring Festival that's coming up to Global. First and foremost, I will not be including any information from the upcoming 7070 Awakenings Wave 9 because with the Twitch stream from late February, there are no free multis tied to this, so the point would be moot to include that in this video. Second, this is my opinion only. Third and finally, I will be using some recent history from both Global and JP to help with what I'm thinking could very well happen. So with that all out of the way, I am just going to jump straight into the recent history. Now, last summer, during the Summer Festival and Beach Bash, we saw some reworks come early. More specifically, 3 of them being King from Final Fantasy IV, Tidus from Final Fantasy X, and Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII. Now, I'm going to be doing a quick pause here so that way I can gather some of my other thoughts. I will be right back. I am back, so like I said, King, Tidus, and Lightning got their reworks early on Global. Now, Squall, he did get his rework, but was pretty much in accordance to the equivalent of the JP timeline, so I'm not including Squall in this one. However, I'm going to include something from Final Fantasy VIII a little bit later on in this video. So with that part out of the way, we're going to go into a little more of recent history, more specifically the second global first character being Aranea from Final Fantasy XV. Now, the importance of this is not so much Aranea herself, but the EX realization for Noctis. This came earlier than anticipated because his EX realization is in fact tied to an event that is later on. Hopefully this comes to Global later on this year. Now, with that all out of the way, who is slated to get something here early? So I'm going to be doing some other pauses so that way I can get the proper characters on the screen. So I will be right back. I am back, and this is possibility number 1 for something coming early during the Spring Festival. This is Selfie Final Fantasy VIII. Now, what she has going is that her rework and her EX realization both, in fact, are on the same event that Noctis' EX weapon was realized on JP. So, should the event come to Global later on this year, we could see something evolve in Final Fantasy VIII. More specifically, Selfie's rework and EX realization this is due to the popularity of Final Fantasy VIII. She is a lovable character on DFFOO, so she is one of those where I will not be surprised if her EX weapon gets realized during the Spring Festival and her rework comes early. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to be doing not another quick pause, but here is possibility number 2, Lana from Final Fantasy V. Now, the reason why I have her here early on is, and this is the alternate costume, this is going to be one of those where, although her rework and her EX realization is tied to a feature that's coming to Global later on this year, we could see this come early. Because in DFFOO, she's a popular character. She has an alternate costume. With this one, with what you just saw being the alternate costume, this is the original. So, with DFFOO, she's popular. Although, in Final Fantasy V is not as popular of an entry. So, she does have a pretty solid rework. I could see Lana getting hers early. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to take another pause and go to the other character as the third and final possibility. So I will be right back. I am back once again, and Safer is my third and final possibility of a reworked and EX weapon realization coming early. This is only because he is with Lana with the rework and EX realization being tied to what's coming up for Global later on this year as the character boards. This puts emphasis on Skill 1, Skill 2, and EX abilities. So, with Safer alongside Selfie, they're both from a popular entry in the Final Fantasy franchise. I will not be surprised if Safer's reworking EX weapon gets realized at some point in the Spring Festival. So, with that out of the way, what do I think will think will happen? So, I'm going to just say this straight up. The one character I do feel getting her rework and EX realization is going to be Lana, because she already has it available. She already is at 70/70. Now, with predictions before I go on any further, I do these for fun. I don't expect to get anything right. So, Lana, I do feel, is going to get her rework and EX realization at some point during the Spring Festival because, first and foremost, she is a popular character in DFFOO. Second, the alternate costume as you see here in the video. This kind of helps with the whole thing with, alternate costumes, that sort of thing. Kind of fits the MO for DFFOO Global. And third, they could easily rerun the costume again at a later point. So, I do feel Lana is going to be one of the two characters that gets their rework and EX realized sooner than anticipated. So, I'm going to do one final pause, and it's going to be the other character of the two. I am back, and this is going to be the other character whose rework and EX weapon being realized comes sooner than anticipated, and that's going to be Selfie. Now, the reason why I picked Selfie alongside Lana on this one is that they're popular characters. Now, the one thing that Selfie does not have that Lana does have is an alternate costume. But even with that out of the way, like I said, Selfie is a popular character. That's something that I don't think many people will overlook. And the type of unit Selfie is, you can't go wrong with that. So, with that all out of the way, my final predictions are going to be that both Lana and Selfie get their rework and EX weapons realized sooner than anticipated. And the thing is with Selfie, hers originally came in an event on JP that should be coming to Global later on this year. Same thing with Lana. The thing is with Lana, she kind of presents a bit of a stronger case, in my personal opinion, because the alternate costume. What better way to get more money for the game than tie an alternate costume to this? And for the Spring Festival, Lana kind of fits the MO here. But with that being said, Selfie also fits the MO due to popularity and what the EX ability of her that she has can do. And with that out of the way, I'm going to be happy with whatever comes Global's way for the Spring Festival either way. And if I get both of them right, I will be laughing my ass off. I'll be a woman and admit that. So with that out of the way, I'm out of here for today with Wolvie here signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.